right, back again. This time we're doing a Taylor Swift band. Should be fun, but I'm running behind, so gotta move fast. All right, we're in vertical mode. I don't have my stabilizer, so this is the load. This will be the load out, but right now it's the in, which means it's uphill. At least there's chickens, right? And it's raining. This is why I make things easy. Sure wish I had a Steadicam. Here we are. So stage area, I've got 4 single 18s. I'm gonna put them across the front. How would you do it? Let's try this tonight, see what happens. I think we'll get plenty of coupling between all 4. And we may have to delay the subs just a little bit. Here we are, about 2 hours after I arrived. We're wired. Lights, speakers are wired. I don't have the stage box up yet. The stage box. Looks like band members are here. So I don't do this setup very often, 4 singles and all that stuff. So I ran a Auto EQ on the system. I'm not going to play music right now because I don't want copyright strikes. So anyway, but the Driverack is not responding to IP address, which kind of sucks. Anyway, I'm going to work on inputless now. I got a dead tablet, so we're charging that. And that's where we're at. The band was good. The JBL tops, high up in the air, I thought did better than the Macaulay's ground stacked on double 18s. Just because clarity and throw. So I think that's the ticket. Next time I come back, we'll do the same thing. Poor guys are moving stage at midnight. Not a good plan. Let's get the rest of the stuff, get out of here. All right, this is gonna be a bumpy end. It's gonna be vertical. So yeah, I think 4 double 18s, 4 single 18s gave a weird frequencies response when I did an auto EQ, the Driverack. So I'll try and find a picture of it, and I'll talk a little bit about that later, but basically I think the spacing caused a spike at 60 hertz, and we had to cut that back about 8 dB, 8, 9 dB. It wanted to cut it at 12 dB. Anyway, I think the issue is the spacing of the subs, and I think it would have been cleaner to bring 1 double 18 box out for that room. just because I don't think we need the horsepower of a couple of double 18s, although it is really nice. But I think for the boy band tribute thing next month, we're just going to do one double 18 and a pair of EVZX thrus up high. And that should help. Well, here's the ride. Let's load it in and go home. Last little bit of thoughts. I put a new power strips in the X32 rack that we used tonight, which has got an amp meter, voltmeter, power factor meter. Voltage when we started was like 120.5, and it sagged all the way to 119.4 or 3 or something, so it was not much at all. On average, it was pulling about 5 amps. I moved the X32 rack to a different circuit, so if the power amps were sagging the voltage, the mixer wouldn't be affected at all. But as it turns out, it didn't draw that much power, and 2 of those channels were 2 ohm loads. So it was 2 2-ohm loads and 2 8-ohm loads on the CVR 4-channel amps for subs and mids. And the highs were 8 ohm, and the center fill was 8 ohm. So, yeah, surprising it didn't pull that much power. We did use 3 circuits tonight, but obviously we weren't pushing it terribly hard. We're mixing at about 103 dB, 104 dB in the audience. Wi-Fi was good, no issues there, and I think the deal was we had less people than the room could hold, maybe 300. And I've seen it as many as 600-700 in that room, which is a lot. What else? Clarity was the issue. Clarity was great. I subgrouped the keyboards, subgrouped the keyboards and the sequencer and the acoustic guitar, subgrouped the vocals, and I compressed the keyboards tracks subgroup, keyed it off of the vocals, so when the vocals were leaning in, it would drop the keyboard sequence by a little bit. It helps some, but you know, whatever. Anyway, we'll explore what's going on with the Driverack and this particular setup with 4 single 18s. All right, that's it for now, and more later, I guess. More on the next gig.